If you've been scrolling through endless patio sets, measuring your deck, reading a handful of specs, and still feel like you're stuck in a loop of maybe this one, maybe that one, you're not alone. Most of us have spent a Saturday afternoon juggling PDFs and trying to picture a couch that actually fits the vibe of our backyard without looking like a showroom reject. That hesitation is real, especially when the wrong pick means you're left with a piece that either drags your style down or falls apart after the first rain. The good news is this review is going to cut through the noise and help you decide if the purple leaf eye-shaped patio set is the sensible choice for your outdoor space. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of setting where this set shines. Imagine you have a medium-sized patio about 12 by 15 feet where you like to entertain a handful of friends for evening drinks. Or you simply want a comfy spot to sip coffee while the kids run around. The eye-shaped couch with its matching ottoman creates a natural conversation nook. The shape hugs the perimeter of the patio, leaving a clear path for traffic and for a small side table if you decide to add one later. Because the frame is aluminum, the whole arrangement feels light enough to shuffle around when you want to reconfigure for a summer barbecue or pull it in for winter storage. You'll notice that the aluminum doesn't scream budget, the way some plastic frames do. It has a brushed finish that resists rust, so you won't be worrying about rust stains on your grey cushions after a spring shower. Now, a lot of buyers ask, what about the cushions? Are they going to hold up when it rains? The cushions on this purple leaf set are made from a quick-dry foam core wrapped in a polyester blend that's designed for outdoor use. In practice, that means they dry out within an hour or two after a light drizzle, and they don't get that mushy feeling that cheap foam can develop after a season of sun exposure. The Olefin Backrest fabric is a smart choice for a patio because it's resistant to UV fading, so the grey you fell in love with online stays a consistent shade, rather than turning a washed-out beige after a few weeks of sun. I've seen homeowners who leave their furniture out year-round and still have a fresh look after a full summer. That said, if you live in a region where winter brings heavy snow and sub-zero temperatures, you'll want a weatherproof cover for the set, because even the best Olefin will eventually show wear if it's constantly exposed to ice and salt. Let's get practical about the seating experience. The seat depth on this couch is about 18 inches, which is a sweet spot for most people. It's deep enough to sink into with a relaxed posture, but not so deep that you feel like you're sitting in a beanbag and have to reach for your coffee table. The ottoman adds that extra foot of surface for your feet, and it doubles as a low table if you decide to place a tray of appetizers on top. I've used it during a weekend brunch on my patio. Guests could comfortably rest their legs while we passed plates around, and the whole group stayed in a tight circle, which made conversation flow naturally. If you're someone who prefers a lounge-style recline with ultra-plush cushions, you might find the firmness a touch firmer than a high-end resort chair. But for everyday outdoor living, that level of support is actually a benefit. It prevents the cushions from flattening after a few months. One of the subtle advantages that often goes unnoticed is the multiple combination options that Purple Leaf advertises. The eye-shaped couch can be separated into two sectional pieces, letting you place one side against a wall and the other floating in the middle of the patio. This flexibility is handy if you ever decide to add a fire pit or a garden sculpture later on. In a real-world scenario, I had a client who wanted to keep a small herb garden in one corner. By splitting the couch, we left enough room for a 3-tier pot without crowding the seating area. The same set can also be paired with a matching love seat, or a single chair from the same line, so you're not locked into a single configuration forever. Now, who should definitely consider buying this? If you're a homeowner with a patio or deck that's big enough to accommodate an eye shape, and you value a modern, geometric aesthetic that won't clash with either a sleek stone floor or a more rustic wooden deck, this set checks a lot of boxes. It's especially appealing if you want something that's easy to move, relatively low maintenance, and you don't want to spend a fortune on a high-end brand. The aluminum frame gives you a peace of mind that you won't be dealing with rust repairs, and the Olefin fabric means you won't be